So this is something I've been thinking about for a while now. Is there a right way or a wrong way to do something? Um, Arguably, no, right? Because you can. There's no real wrong way to do something. There's no real right or wrong. Sometimes in the world, it's just a matter of perspective, matter of positioning. But as far as the way to do something, this is kind of like a Japanese concept, is that there kind of is a right way, right? Because take for example driving. Okay, everybody drives differently, and some people are more aggressive, some people like the speed, some people, and arguably you can't. Like, I think people will make the argument like, no, there's no wrong way, David. As long as you get from point A to point B, what's the problem? But again, and this is a concept I'm pretty sure it's Japanese, but in my way too, when I look at it, well, there is a right way, right? Because you're driving from point A to point B, okay, but there is a better way, right? For example, if you drive from point A to point B and you get in an accident, versus if you don't get in an accident, I'd argue that there's a right way, right? The right way is to get there in one piece, or get there in without getting a ticket, or get there in the safest manner possible, right? And I'd argue that it's not like a straight black and white, but there is a scale as far as, okay, well, this way is good, but this way is probably a little bit better, and then this way is a little bit better than that, and this way is a little bit better than that. And so, it goes the same thing as like, I'm just like shoot a basketball or something like that, right? There's a million ways to shoot a basketball. Everybody in the NBA has a different shooting style, but there is the proper technique, or there is. You take the person who's the best shooter, he probably has best technique, or the best way is the way in which you make the most percentage of shots, right? So you should always be striving for that better way, for that best way. And this is when I talk about the Japanese. Something I've felt from Japan is that I think they really believe that there's a best way, and then once you're in pursuit of finding that best way. And once you find that best way, your life should just be about trying to replicate that every time, exactly right, every time, go, go, go. Like, and I feel like that's a concept that is kind of lost. I'll just say America, because, this is where I grew up and this is where I live currently. So I feel like it's something that I have a hard time explaining to people, or I feel very alone on this fact. I think that's what, because I always feel like so many people just are very like nonchalant about it, like whatever, I could probably, and also like at my workplace, I think there's kind of this like, people feel like I'm a very intense person, like, why is David always so like anal about everything? Why is he always gonna get on my case? Why is he always? But like, I feel like that's the whole. This is something, yeah, it's definitely something Asian or Japanese or from my parents, because I remember when I was a kid, like, just what's the purpose of doing something? What's the purpose of doing something if you're not going to try to do it as best as possible? Right? Like what's the point? Like, what's the point of cooking if you're not going to like try to cook a really great dish, or anything? And it, like, that's something I had to learn to kind of like back off a little bit, because there's times, especially in college or working with 4PP, there was times where I just wasn't enjoying anything, and it was difficult because I didn't know how to like let off the gas. I didn't know how to be like, okay, we can sit here and just watch a movie for today and not have to like completely like submerge myself into the thing and like go 100% and never let it, So that's, I don't know, that's something that I remember getting in arguments about. It's like, we can't take a break. We can never take a break. go, 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 go. So I don't know. It's just something I've been thinking about probably the last 5 or so years, just in how it affects my life, how it affects my relationships. I know, like, there's certain relationships that didn't understand the way I was, and then yeah, well, I think all my relationships didn't understand the way I was. I guess they all had a problem with like man, this guy's always thinking about work, not work, but like always thinking about, and like, yeah, it sucks, man. It sucks because like in my first relationship, I remember it was just like we'd be having dinner. And like I was obviously not at dinner, and that's just me not being ready for a relationship at the time, or jumping into a relationship that obviously or honestly, I don't want to say didn't want to be in, but there was other priorities in my life, and with all good intentions, it's like, oh well, let's make this relationship work. And I was always focused on, because like, again, so I'd be sitting there at dinner, and I'm sure she was like, David, if you don't want to be here, just go. It's and I feel really bad about that, because it's like, damn, dude, like that's not what, it was my intention, but when it comes to people, I mean, again, when it comes to people, they're bound to take it personally, and it's an unfortunate side effect of yeah. But yeah, anyways, that's what I was just thinking about today. Is there really a right way to do things? I think so, because of course the right way is to, and it doesn't have to be like, oh, okay, the right way is the way you make the most money. No, it could be the right way is the right way is to make it so that you can balance your life correctly and balance money and freedom. Or you could do it in the way where you're the most happy, or you're in the way that it's less time consuming, or there's all these different measures of what is the right way. But my argument is still that there is a right way for you or for me or whatever. And then once you find that right way, it should be a pursuit of that right way. And then once you find the right way, it should just be about replicating that, and like endlessly. So you could just do it in your sleep, and you could do it that way, like habit. Huh. I don't know. Just some thoughts. Maybe you guys have some opinions, or maybe I've missed a completely. Sometimes when you're thinking, you completely miss something that's very obvious, that's right in front of you, but because you're focused on everything else, you don't see it. And so I think sometimes me wanting to say this stuff out loud and post it, like, works it out in my mind, and maybe somebody can offer up something that's enlightening or eye-opening. So yeah, there you go. Thanks for listening. Bye.